Hello YouTube. I want to show you guys the new supplemental lighting I got for my reef tank. I've had these for quite a while now and I'm really liking them. They're the lumi lights by Reef Brite. These are the 72-inch model, the 50/50. They got an array of alternating white and blue LEDs. They sit on the edges of my tank. The reason I got these really was because I have a lot of shadowing in my tank. I run SB Reef Lite Basics, either the old school ones, basically a Chinese black box with an upgraded spectrum. But yeah, I mean, with LEDs being directional light sources, you get a lot of shadowing in the corners of the tank. If you look from the side here, like, you know, the light's coming from the middle, so you'll get a cone of light, and then these top corners, there's a lot of shadowing. And I mean, there's no coral up there or anything, so you don't need a lot of light. But really, when the fish are swimming around, like this guy up here, they'd be in a lot of shadow up top, and I really didn't like it. So that's kind of the reason I bought these lights, was to get rid of that shadowing. And it has a big effect. I'll show you real quick kind of what it looks like with them on and off. Right now I got all my LEDs on. I really didn't need any more power for my tank. My SB Reef lights are running at like 75% blues and 50% whites. So I mean, it wasn't really to add any more light to the tank in the way you know, the corals need it, but just kind of to give a better aesthetic. So this is with them all on, and then I'll turn them off here. I mean, you can see the difference in shadowing, even on the sides of my rocks. Yeah, some of the fish, when they swim up top, they're just kind of in shadow in those corners without them on. And then with the reef lights back on, or the Reef Brites, you can see it makes a pretty big difference. That's them off. With them back on. This is without a filter. Here's a little orange filter. You can kind of, this is kind of more true to life with the filter. But yeah, these lights have a good spectrum. They're kind of a more purple. Let me turn off the other LEDs. I can show you more these lights look like. So they're not like super powerful lights, but they produce a lot of light to the visible eye. I mean, I wouldn't recommend these for like a primary light source, but for supplemental, or maybe they could work on a frag tank that's real shallow. But you definitely want to get some more high-powered LEDs. I thought about going T5s for a while to get rid of the shadowing, but I really like shimmer. Didn't want to get rid of the shimmer. So this is with my blues on and the Reef Brites, and that's a pretty cool look. I like that. That's without the filter. With the filter, let's see. It's with the filter. And then I'll turn off the LED, or the SB Reef lights altogether. So here's a good view of just the two Reef Brites. I mean, you can see they look like they put out a lot of light, but I mean, I don't think it's enough to, you know, grow your coral with just them or anything. But still a pretty powerful light for the form factor. I don't even think I need a filter with this one. That looks pretty true to life. Here's a filter on there. But yeah, with just the blue and white LEDs, it almost gives a purple look to the tank, and I really like it. Some people like to run a lot of blues. This might be a little too white for them, but for me, it's pretty perfect for spectrum. So let me turn them all back on, and then I'll kind of show you the form factor of the light more. And just the only kind of issue I had with the light initially. So yeah, I mean, here are the lights. They're really lightweight, super thin. They mount with these brackets on the side of the tank, and that's really the only negative thing I could say about this light, is that these brackets, when you first get them, they just slide backwards and forth. They're not very secure. Like when you lift up the light, they just completely drop off. You can see mine aren't, because see, I put this little Velcro on there just to keep it on, so now I can lift them up and move them around, and you know, it's perfectly fine. But out of the box, yeah, they kind of slide around. These brackets, they're just held on by pretty much the weight of the light. So when they're sitting there, they're fine. But if you want to pick them up or anything, you probably want to secure them like I did. Yeah, I mean, these lights, there's no fancy, you know, timer or dimmer or anything on them. I think you can order them with a dimmer, but for the power they have, you know, I was never going to use the dimmer, so I got them on full right now. But yeah, I really think they're a good option for anyone that runs LEDs. If you're trying to get more shimmer or something, like you're running T5s, I wouldn't really recommend these. They're not like the king of shimmer because you know, the LEDs are packed so tightly on there that you're not going to get a ton of shimmer. You know, maybe go with a more high-powered LED strip if you're looking for more shimmer. I would say it didn't decrease any of my shimmer on my tank for my LEDs, but it probably didn't increase it either. So you're really, it's not the purpose of this light. And again, if you're looking for you know, to add more light to your tank for coral health, you probably want to go with one of the more high-powered models that Reef Brite sells. The I think the XHO or something like that. They're more expensive, but they're higher wattage and, you know, produce a lot more light. These are, for me, they're just good for you know, adding some aesthetics to my tank. I will say, you know, it also gets rid of some of the shadowing on my rocks, so I can put some low light corals in new places now with these lights. But I really didn't turn down my primary lights at all to use these. They're just kind of there for you know, the aesthetics more. But yeah, they're pretty affordable. I think maybe like $130 or $150 for the 72-inch ones. And you know, if you have a tank against the wall and not a room divider like this, you only need one for the front, and you'll probably see a big difference. But yeah, overall, I mean, really great light. It's made in America too, so that's really odd to see on a reef tank accessory. But yeah, that's another positive. You know, they're high quality, and yeah, I'll definitely give it a 10 out of 10. I've had these for maybe 4 months now, and yeah, I really like it. I can really also extend the lighting period a little longer. I run these by themselves in the morning, and I feel like it's not gonna, you know, hurt the coral or anything because it's not too powerful. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Reef Brite Lumi light. They also make a pro model, which I believe is just kind of doubled up two of these. So you can check that out too if you're interested, and have a good day.